do.
Yes. You want me to start it?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
We were going to take a second, let everybody get on, but do y'all not love our yellow bunny?
I mean, isn't it the cutest? Anytime we see anything yellow like this, it has to be
I have to bring it home.
correct. Like one time we got some little yellow felt Santas like this, and he had like the Chinese cat arm. But we're like, we need it. And so
I think we bought like 4 of it.
we did. We needed 4.
Yes.
But we
yes.
do love our yellow bunny. And we got our bunny ears again and a little bunny pin. So sometimes it's nice just to be a little bit silly.
A little
and
bit
shake
fun.
things up.
Yes. So just as a reminder, so Lemon Seed Marketing, we're a full service agency that helps contractors in the home service space have more strategy and build their brands or create their brands to grow into legacies and to great profitable businesses. And so we are here. I come from the trades. Emily's worked well in the trades for a long time too. And so we really feel like we have a good grasp on how we can help clients get a better organizational structure to their marketing spend, what vendors are good vendors to place with different contractors, and all kinds of cool stuff. So we've been doing these Facebook Lives. This is our 3rd one.
It is.
We did
the
Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, and now an Easter one. So it's been very holiday themed.
Yes.
And we're not afraid to be a little corny and a little bit silly.
Yes, and it's also time to tell you, like, we do these fun things because it catches your attention and it helps us stick out. So we try to practice what we preach here a little bit. So, but today, for all of you that are watching, how do we want them to get our little digital download?
Yes. So we're going to kind of go through some things. How can you spring into action? And so that's what we're going to be talking about for this whole hour. But we've also created a PDF download so that you, after this live, after it's all done, we've created a little checklist for you. So we got our partners back here behind the scenes. We got Andrea and Hannah. They're going to drop a link for you. Click that link, give us your email, and it will direct you to get this download. So you can make sure, even if you can't stay for this whole hour, that you can do your own checklist and kind of spring into action this shoulder season, if you will, before we get into the super peak of summer. So we'll be posting that a few different times, different points in the chat, but we will be talking in depth kind of a lot about all of these things here. So.
Absolutely. So a couple things I want to remind you. Spring is a great time to get motivated with your marketing so that you have this really good push into the shoulder season. Now, if you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're a pest control, whatever, and maybe you're not going into a good busy season, maybe you have a more balanced seasonality. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're going into spring. You should be doing a lot of this updating for no matter what service. But for my HVAC people that are here and watching, now is the time to prepare our team for memberships and maintenance and all of those things so that we have a really good push into summertime and we can make a lot of money. That's what the goal is here. Get in front of a lot of new customers, build up some good revenue for ourselves so that we can slide right on through the end of the year. So we have our little Easter eggs here up front. Emily's going to open one of these Easter eggs and it's got different things in it. And we're going to talk about how you could take this and modify it in the springtime.
All right, we'll start right off with the money.
Financing. So financing. And by the way, we're watching the chat. So if you have a question, please feel free to drop those in there. We would love to know what services you offer. Tell us a little bit where you're coming from. We love it. Please get engaged there in the chat. So
I'll say, before we dive into financing, in May, we are going to be hosting a completely free webinar with GoodLeap. So if you have some questions about financing, GoodLeap is an excellent partner. They will be able to have it. So Lemon Seed is hosting that with GoodLeap. You'll be able to ask questions. So it can really get into the nitty gritty from an actual financing company. So
yeah, and get good options there.
Be on the lookout for that registration.
Financing is always an interesting thing. So I'd love to know if for those contractors and people that are watching, what financing are you using? Maybe not who you're using, but what types of offers are you using? So one that I love to talk about is payment factor. So when you are presenting or your sales team is presenting offers for whatever it is, a new water heater, new electric panel, new complete system, duct cleaning, whatever, are they presenting on a payment factor or are they presenting on a whole price? Like, hey, this system is $16,000 or is this system $129 a month? So at McWilliams, we presented payment factor first. So we would always say, hey, this is $89 a month. This is $129 a month. When you do that, it automatically lets people digest those numbers and they're not as shocking.
It's not like as fallout on the floor.
Yeah. So, I mean, and those of you that are in large states, so like those of you that are selling $30,000 systems every day, good for you. You're in an area that is super not the norm.
Very
So,
affluent.
yeah. So
half
your
cash.
average tickets are going to be much better. So remember, everybody, you got to live in your lane. Okay. So I do want to encourage you. There should be no less than a $10,000 average ticket going on right now.
And when we like to sell full systems, so not just partial, like just a furnace, just a condenser, you know, just how like they always recommend you change all 4 of your tires, not limping it along and stuff.
Yes. Or you got 2 brand new tires on the front, 2 pitiful ones in the back. You're all limping along. Same thing for a system a lot of times. So,
but that's another way of how you can increase your average ticket. Like quit selling those partial equipment. So that's a side factor. But you're very right. So a payment factor, how are you presenting it? And so if you are having a hard time closing, you know, are you presenting it with too much of a sticker shock right there? Like if you just kind of change the way it's presented, the method that it's presented, like is it professionally designed? Is it presented on an iPad? Are you using a paper invoice to write out options? Like I think there's a lot of different elements to present it and to kind of nurture that lead to be able to seal the deal. So you got to make it work for what works for your company and then also what works for your target demographic in your area. And it won't be the same all across the country.
Yeah, no. And so some of the financing offers that we could do here would be when you offer financing, you can roll in more than just the cost of the equipment. So if you're let's say you do multi-service. So you're like, hey, you can get a new system and a generator. We can roll all it in. You can get a new system, a year's worth of your maintenance club, and a water heater and a duct cleaner and an IAQ package. So now is the perfect time to create a spring indoor air quality package, sell it on top of every new system install, roll all of it into a financing deal. That's one thing, because right now people are going to be very aware of like allergies,
pollen, allergies.
Yes.
So IAQ is a perfect add-on for spring marketing.
Yes, great little combo there for financing. So so you have that. So another option is like payments as low as, which Emily kind of mentioned earlier.
We kind of call it PAYLA.
Yes.
Payments as low as.
And that's our payment factor kind of thing. But here's where people get hung up. Well, I don't know. Payments as low as, I don't know. Well, we're going to use the law of averages,
right,
and we're going to have every exclusion on there. So, you know, must call the office. You must qualify. So your finance company probably has a laundry list, a litany of exclusions. Yes. Whatever, put them in there. It doesn't matter. Just do what you got to do to make it legal. But hey, payments as low as, you know, $129 a month. Like you can really entice people with that. Listen, in this new day and age, a lot of people do not have cash. And so I think people that have large amounts of cash are getting more and more selective anyway. So financing wouldn't appeal to them anyway. So that does lead me back to side note, pro tip. You really need to know your target market here, because if you live in a very affluent area, again, like Emily mentioned earlier, you may not even need financing, may not be even something that triggers people there.
Right.
But for the majority of the country, financing is a big deal.
And I think a big piece that you mentioned, like when you say pick a number, your PAYLA average, what is it? Is it 129? Is it 159? What is it? Pick that average. And then don't pick. So like this can also be a little misleading. Like I'm going to pick, if the person has an 850 credit score, that could potentially get their payments down to $79.
Or a 2-ton unit.
Yes. Okay. Don't pick that lowest number because we don't want it to also be deceitful. Okay. So pick the average that the majority of people are going to get, because we don't want it to appear too good to be true either.
Yeah. And when it's not bait and switch.
Correct. Yes.
You know, so we're not here to trick people into thinking payments as low as $39. Well, let's be realistic.
Yes, correct.
You know? And so some of you, you know, just be honest with yourself. What's the average home size, the average system that you would sell, and the average credit score, and what would that number be? And you know what? If you get the number better, payments as low as, you could say, man, you killed this. You actually got it lower than that. You must have a great credit score. You must have this. You must have that. So some great things there on financing for you to consider. And then I always think like, okay, so we're in the spring. So we're saving money. If we do financing, we're saving money. So it's like by doing financing, you can keep that vacation money in your pocket, right? For if you do 3 months, no payments, 3 months to save money for your vacation.
Or with graduation coming up, like save up for that senior trip, no payments for 3 months. Like there's lots of fun things that you can do that is spring oriented to make it relevant. It's like, you know, I am trying to plan for a senior trip. I thought that because that's literally what you're doing
Yeah.
right now. Like,
Yes. Like upgrade your comfort without having to, you know, upgrade your bills every month or something along those lines. But, you know, hey, planning on doing a lot of upgrades around the house this spring, check off HVAC and not have to worry about it. Right. So there's a lot of little messaging that we can get out there around spring. So
yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Well, we have a question.
We have a couple comments.
Oh.
So Michelle Myers says, my husband says, would you like to use your money today or mine?
That is your money. Always the answer.
Yeah. Never my money.
And Riley says LCS is doing Payla offers for Q2. Haven't offered that in a while and excited about it with paid ads.
Great.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Riley, LCS, one of our great clients. So they are using their payments as low as offer as their paid ad strategy to, again, stand out in the market. So one thing I'm loving Riley's position at LCS, which is basically an internal marketer doing great things in partnership with Lemon Seed. That's what we love to see. Like people that have boots on the ground and strategy support are really where we see people making great moves. But I think Riley's been able to keep his finger on the pulse easier because he lives every day there, but knowing like, hey, our competition is not doing this. So how can we, nobody wants to be a follow behind.
No. But, and I thought another point. So Riley said he's doing it on his digital ads. Like that's also another ding, ding, ding. Like, great. If you negotiate with your finance, you come up with this amazing offer. Like, where are you putting it?
Have you told the soul?
How do the people know that you even offer this? So there's tons of different ways from trying to get new customers. So on digital ads, you know, on billboards, you can be talking about on your radio scripts, but also how can you market to your existing customers? So maybe the people who have a system that's 8, 10, 12 years old, you've serviced them before. Maybe you sold them their last system, but like, are you going to text them about this new payment as low as offer? Are you going to send them an email, a ringless voicemail, outbound dialing? Have some intentionality for how you're going to let people know that you even have these options. Don't just like, we got it.
Yes. Yeah, we did it. It's right here on my website that nobody goes to.
I pinned it to the wall.
I'm
on
like,
my
sir,
team.
yeah, no. But that does make me think what I was going to say here is, you know who really needs to know about your offers? Your own team. So you really,
yes.
like your technicians knowing, hey, well, right now it looks like you're going to need a system, but good news, it looks like they're running some kind of payment offer. If we can just get that out of their mouth, I feel like we're winning, you know. They don't have to sit down and break down the code of how credit scores are made.
But like we will act a whole fool if we hear CSR like answer the phone like, I don't think we're doing that. Or
Yeah.
like, I don't know anything about a financing offer. Like
I saw your ad for financing offers. It was our ad.
we don't do that.
Absolutely not. I will kick down a wall if that happens. So okay, that was financing.
Yeah,
Was there
fun things
anything
about
else?
Financing.
Cool. All
All right, we'll kick it more fun. Community.
Oh, so y'all know we love community. Okay.
Well,
So community involvement.
yes, and I think community is that grassroots
Mhm.
building a brand, organic, where you really have some impact. It takes time to nurture, but it's so crucial. And like, I want to share a little story. So yesterday I was in one of the social media groups.
Okay.
One of them, you know, there's so many of them.
7,452.
And a friend, she was so frustrated and discouraged. She's like, I'm competing against all these private equity companies
Oh.
and they're offering all these financing, like 0% interest for 5 years.
Yeah.
Payments as low as she's like, and we just can't compete.
10-year warranty paid.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, we just can't compete. She's like so discouraged. She's like, we're just a small mom and pop. But I'm like, you know what private equity companies cannot and will not do? Support the community, be there in there with the people, investing money in that, building your brand name, just being good people, being known and seen. Those are some things that you can do that private equity won't, and how you will win out. And people aren't always looking for the cheapest price possible. You know, like I was needing some new makeup. And so hang on for the whole story. Okay. I was with my sister-in-law last night, and my sister-in-law tries all the makeup products. She knows all the
Everything.
recommendations about every brand. She's not just one brand specific. So I was like, I want some new foundation. She's like, oh, you need this. And I was like, what about some new blush? She's like, oh, you need this. I didn't have to talk price with her about any of it. I trusted her recommendation because she has tried. She had a good experience with this, and she'll talk it all
And
up.
how much was it when you checked out?
Well,
$1,000.
I actually did pretty good. But the point is, your neighbor could be like, my system is really limping along. Oh, call Wise Guys. Call McWilliams. They were phenomenal. They were super quick, super responsive to my text. That is great. I'm going to call them. So it's not always about the price. And sometimes I think we get so caught up and hung up on that and feel so defeated by private equity companies. So let's say invest in community marketing, build your brand. Let's talk some fun stuff in the community.
Yeah. So to just reiterate, there's a couple of things. With community comes engagement, comes relationships.
Mhm.
So now let me tell you, you are not going to go work the local Easter egg hunt next Sunday, okay, and give out $5,000 worth of eggs, and you got 3 people out there, and you shook hands. You're not going to get back home and have sold the system, okay? So you got to have some clear expectations. Community involvement is one of those things that you invest in time-wise and money-wise, knowing that all it's really doing is building rapport, authority, and engagement inside of your community. So grasp that now. Help your boss understand it if that's not your role. But when you do it, what it does is you start building your brand as a very authentic and approachable and engageable brand.
It's the
So-
tortoise and the hare methodology, but you have to get started because it does take time to commit. And so don't wait until you're in dire straits to then kind of start doing it. Like,
And a
take
lot of
intentionality
things-
now.
Yeah, everything you do, you have to have clear expectations of.
Mhm.
So let's talk about some fun stuff. So
Okay.
easy things are Easter egg hunts.
Yes, that's
Every
happening a lot.
community, somebody's church or neighborhood or something's doing it. I would ask, here's a couple of simple things. You could donate eggs or prizes. You could sponsor the photo booth. You could sponsor the Easter bunny. But how do you get people to come and engage with you is, I looked on Oriental Trading and I saw there was these inflatable Easter eggs that people can get inside. So I think they're fun to where you could have those at your booth where kids are going to come over and want to take a picture with a gigantic Easter egg that doesn't steal the thunder of whoever is bringing an act. Also, kids know there's only one Easter bunny. So you can't have an Easter bunny over there and an Easter bunny at your booth. You will cause mass confusion. But also like give away 5 bicycles at your booth.
Yeah.
Give away, hey, everybody that enters, you get an email and a phone number. I'll text you if you win. You have to pick it up by next. You got to come. I would take a picture. If anything, I would have 100 pictures of every kid and everybody that was there near my booth, and I would be posting about it. We love our community.
Are you giving away free bunny ears that has your company logo that every kid is going to want to wear their bunny ears?
Good idea.
We're working with a client right now and they have a golden retriever as their mascot. So like their tagline's gonna be like service that's golden. So, but like, hey, find the golden egg. There's one golden egg out there brought to you by this golden company.
We're
you
the
know,
Golden
the-
Egg sponsor.
Yes. And like the partners, whoever's putting on that Easter egg event will welcome ideas like this. It creates buzz and excitement.
Yes.
You
And
get the social media content afterwards. Like,
and the share. Stop putting your name on a banner and being mad that you didn't get anything from it.
or
You're
the
not
back of
going
the
to.
t-shirt print design.
You're not going to, sir. Understand that you could have walked outside and threw the money up in the air unless you just really wanted to support the actual organization. So if you just wanted to support the local Chamber of Commerce and their Easter egg hunt, then give them your money. It's your money. But if you're expecting some sort of return, not every return is monetary. It's the likes, the shares, the views, and all of that. Another thing is it's getting golf season.
Oh.
And so a lot of you either like to play golf or there's golf tournaments going on. My kids are big golf kids right now. So Emily and I, a couple of years ago, there's the putting green sponsor. I'll give y'all one guess as to what we asked them to change that to.
The putting yellow.
The putting
it's not
yellow.
green. We're yellow.
But when we have one of our clients with their green was in their name, and I was like, why would we not be the putting green sponsor? So if you like Riley, theirs is they got a rocket ship house. So anything that crossed my vision that leaned into stars, space, rockets, homes, ships, any of the above, I'm trying to sponsor it because I want people to make that brand recognition. And a lot of people will go, oh my gosh, the putting yellow, that's so creative. I don't care as long as it's memorable. That's what we're looking for here is memorability.
I mean, and like we did it at our own little golf event. Like we had the potty putt where like it was a little competition, but like we had a literal toilet on the putting green. You had to sit on there and putt it. We've also seen like the ball drop. So like, hey, we're gonna bring out our wrapped van. We're gonna get some ducting, flex duck, and we're gonna drop all these balls. So people who pay $20 to be into it because we're all raising money for Habitat for Humanity, whatever it is. Whoever drops it from all the ducting and makes it in the hole they win the grand prize.
Yeah, so Emily's McWilliams pulls up in their van to the side of the green. Sailor Matt gets on top of the van, and he dumps in all these golf balls with numbers on them into a flex duck. And our team is holding the flex duck so it goes forward. First hole. And y'all, people go live on Facebook watching this.
But that's how you curate these things to be for your own company. It makes it relevant. So whether it's playing off of your name or your actual service, just get a little bit creative with it, because that's that memorability aspect. That's how we're sticky in their minds. Like, they probably didn't need a plumber the day of the golf tournament, but you know what, when they do in a month next year or something, what has been stuck in their
That
mind?
Armadillo was running across the golf, was driving a golf cart. So this is where Lemon Seed is different than a lot of branding agencies. So one of Lemon Seed's core pieces of a strategy document is what you're going to do in your community, because we know the importance of that. Like, both of us have launched different companies, not just Lemon Seed, but our own different companies. And my family owns a pest control company. Me and a friend own a roofing company. And I'm like, listen, it is no secret how to do this successfully. You need to not be scared. Okay, you gotta be a little risky.
Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money. And you gotta have a little bit of money to invest in these things.
You do.
So if you have no money at all, literally, go and just volunteer in your team shirt at the event and just start making handshakes that way. But if you've got $500 that you can commit and say, for $500, I can do something. Even if you give away candy at the event, shake hands, take pictures, and build. Community is the most undervalued thing, but it also requires more creativity a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, this is why Lemon Seed adds it in. We know the support that contractors need here is the creative side of this. And honestly, if you never plan the first one, you'll never get going. You got to get going somewhere with community. So yes, we have a comment that looks like it's going to be.
I can kind of see it. I think I see Riley commented something.
Okay.
Riley's wondering if it's time for an LCS astronaut mascot. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Riley, now you tell Renee.
I told you, you got to get Renee on board for that.
So-
Tell Renee to watch this back.
Mascot. So let me tell you about Spot On really quick. So Spot On Pest Control is my family's pest control company. My brother kind of got us started. My sister and brother-in-law, and now my husband work on that side of the company. Of course, Lemon Seed supports Spot On's marketing side and graphic design. And so before we had sold the first contract, Spot On had a brand, a wrapped vehicle, a mascot, and a jingle.
Mhm.
So we were $20,000 in this thing, but we knew, like, we can do it now. We can do it in 6 months, but why not do it now? And so thankfully we had access to cash, so that helped. But more than anything, we knew that once we got Johnny on the Spot, which is the name of our ladybug, he does not get very much rest. Homeboy is out and about because we're not just going to put him there. So Riley, one piece of advice here, one pro tip is, I would say, how can you go ahead and plan? Like, what are things, as soon as we got that mascot, here are 5 things that I think I could take him to.
Oh, absolutely.
And that helps the owner be like, how do I justify this $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 of building out this parade costume if we don't have any plans for it? Oh, you want plans? Here are the plans.
We can come up with the plan.
Absolutely. All right.
But like, and you mentioned it was an investment up front to kind of get all these things, but it was also the cheapest investment you'd ever make at your brand from the beginning.
Yes.
Versus having to do it later to fix all the bad caca that's been done before
Ooh,
to
caca.
make yourself known later. So
Yes.
it's an investment up front, but it's the cheapest investment you'll ever make long term. So
Yeah. So one more thing about community, and then we're going to move on. But let's talk about giveaways really quick. Now, again, so when I think about this, I'm always looking for launch things that are going to give me momentum going into this spring season. So one of those might be giving away a free system, a free water heater, a free duct cleaning. Now, with that being said, if you just get on your social media and say, we're doing a free duct cleaning, no one cares. So
Right.
they're like, great. Or who does care, and if there's anybody that owns a contracting business right now, if they do care, it's the person that you can't even get into their house because they're like a hoarder and they've got 17 cats. Like, that's who will win the free one. So we got to make this juicy and fun. So it needs a name, it needs a logo, it needs a theme, it needs a campaign. So is it Sailor Max Sail Away giveaway? Is it, Rufus give back? Like, what is it that we're doing, and how do we bring life to it? And then what is your expectations with it?
Mhm.
So with a giveaway, you have two options. You can just do the fun giveaways. Like we're giving away a massage to a lucky teacher.
Well, and like you said earlier, like if you don't have a lot of money, like I have $500, what can I do? You can do some of those smaller, teacher giveaways.
Yes, in the summer, I'm giving away $100 Amazon gift card. So everybody drop your Amazon link here. Like those things. And what they do though is people share those things. They get
Tag other
natural
people.
engagement.
Yes, yes.
So that's a cool thing. But a system giveaway, this is a pro tip, and Lemon Seed shares this all the time with our clients. If you have co-op dollars and one of those co-op things includes a system that you can give away, I would tell you fall or spring, not in the summer.
Yeah.
Fall or spring. And you need to do it big. Do it big. If you want to see the McWilliams email or video that we did, drop me your email here, and Andrea will help me watch it. But I will email you a link to the video that Real Graphics, Emily's Family's company, made about the McWilliams giveaway that we did several years ago. But you'll see the intentionality behind it was not I threw it up on a social media post. But what are you going to do with all of the leads that you get from that?
Right.
So a system giveaway where we send them to your website, they sign up, they win this just in time for summer. Don't let the no summer breakdown giveaway. Yeah. So now you're going to be sitting with a list of all these people that said they need a new system. So what are we going to do with it? Or are you doing these fun little things just to get engagement? Set expectations, be encouragement. It's springtime. Like, is it a spring home makeover with a Hobby Lobby gift card? Like, you can do lots of things, but just do some things that bring engagement or do some things that bring you leads, but be intentional about those.
And don't be discouraged by it's only one winner. It's only going to impact one person. Well, no, still, like you said, talk to those people that did something. Thank you for submitting to Sailor Max Sail Away giveaway. Sorry you weren't the winner, but here's a $50 off your next tune-up, compliments of us. You can still drum up some business from it and foster that relationship with them.
Hey, if you still let us come out and quote you a system, we're bringing you dinner on us. I have a $50 gift card at Domino's, right? Or pick a local restaurant, support local. So again, guys, fun things there.
There was another financing one in there.
Oh, did I do it twice? That's why I ran out of eggs.
Installs. All right.
How do we promote installs during the spring? Well, so we talked about Payla earlier.
Yes, and probably weather isn't creating so much demand for us at this very moment where everyone is beating down the door. I need a new system. My system is broken. It's smoking and broken. That's probably not happening at this very moment.
Correct. So let's talk about overall buying patterns, right? So when is the best time to buy a ski bib to go skiing?
Not during peak season.
Not during peak season. So we have conditioned our markets to realize that. So right now we could be running pre-season sales, lowest prices before the weather hits us. So, early bird gets the worm type stuff, or the clock is ticking special. All of those things create a sense of urgency. Like, did you limp was this you last summer and you show like an electric bill at $600 a month, right? Or you sweating at home or something like that. Was this you last summer? Now we have our pre-season special. Yes, it's a little expected, but it's better than doing nothing, especially if you can give it a spin that's brand related.
For sure.
So, for Johnny on the spot, for Spot On Pest Control, we might say, were you spotted killing bugs all summer long? Gosh. Now's the time to spray for mosquitoes, right? So spotted, we got Johnny with a fly swatter, all that cool stuff.
Yeah.
So that also on installs, it's more about letting people realize that you may not have a problem now, but you're going to have a problem. So
that's what I was just about to say, especially for your existing customers. So why checkout season is so important, getting those monthly, getting them fixed now. So that if there was going to be a problem in peak season in July, we've gone ahead and found it and already fixed it for us. So we can get them off the street, if you will, to create capacity for a new customer come July when it officially happens. But yeah, how can we identify problems and solve problems so that we can open up more opportunities for us?
Yeah. So here's an idea. We're going to buy a new system from us and we pay last month's electric bill. Or we'll take the cost of last month's electric bill off the cost of your new system up to, $1,000. So I don't really want to get into this on this particular call, but a lot of you are not priced correctly anyway.
That could be a whole other call.
Yeah. So like we had a client one time, it's like, only building 5% profit. I'm like, because we're trying to go out of business.
Right.
So that's not a good structure. But that leaves room. So I'm going to tell you, pro tip here, you need to have marketing money budgeted into the cost of your equipment when you sell it up front. So even if you can say, hey boss, will you please write in $250 more? So that $250, I like $1,000. Okay. I like to spend a little money to get us there. But when you have that $1,000 built into your pricing, it is what I call moving money. I can move it wherever I want to move it. I can move it off. I can move it to a TV. I can move it to a vacation. I can move it to a buy down on a financing offer. Where can you as the marketer use that $1,000? So get what you can get. Most of you, contractors make money 3 ways.
Yeah.
Right? What's one?
Raising your prices.
So price,
it
meaning
is
like
a way to do it.
take a 10% lift.
Yes.
Okay.
Which probably your cost of buying the stuff had a 10% lift probably. So like you need to relay that on. You're not going to take the hit there, but
Go check your pricing today. I bet you're going to be like, gosh darn it, right?
it'll
Okay,
hurt your
so
whole heart.
pricing is one. The other one is, Andrea, what do you
Andrea.
think one is?
Operational excellence.
Operational excellence. So that comes where are your average tickets where they're at. And last but not least is Living Seed's personal favorite, which would be marketing.
Yes.
Those are the 3 things that you do to drive growth year over year.
Increased revenue. Yeah.
Some of you would hit your revenue goal by raising prices 15%, and no one would even know it.
And
So-
you increase your profit margin too.
Yes, there's that. And then some of you do marketing, but it's so wild and free that just organizing it would make things more
Right. There's no
productive.
strategy to it. But like
Yes.
what you're talking about, having some of that moving money, that,
Yep.
that wiggle room, you do have to kind of have a little bit more of an aggressive offer right now in springtime because that weather isn't creating that demand for you.
Yeah.
Now, do not continue that on into summer. Once that starts working for you, okay, we're going to back off on some of this percentage off, money off, free gifts with purchase. Like we're beating down the doors with everything else.
Well,
That's
because we
gonna
don't have to do it.
be- Correct.
Right now, I don't know about y'all, but we need to do it to drive some leads. So, to Emily's point there, that's why what matters now is having that structure,
Mhm.
right? So what is that structure and that organizational document tell you when to start and stop so that your digital company knows, your social media company knows, that everyone knows, your direct mail company knows, do not mail out this free TV offer past May 31st. I don't want to do it. Now, those of you that live in Texas, it's going to be 110 degrees and then 40 degrees. So you got some wiggle room in there, right?
That's how it is right now.
Yeah. I saw the other day, the weather keeps storming out of the room, but coming back. Oh yeah. And another thing, I thought that was pretty funny. But so on the install pieces again, so there's gift with purchases. So right now, think about what people are doing in your market. So we had a really good run with TVs for a while. We've had really good runs with smokeless fire pits. That's been good.
Green egg grills.
Yep.
Some, cooking out things.
So think about it. How much is a green egg grill? $800, probably $700. So you need to have that money built into the cost of your equipment to make it make sense to then offer that as a gift with purchase. And here's another pro tip. Do not sell them a basic unit. You're off the floor, barely, it's new, but it's still like not there. But it's what they could afford. They don't get the egg. The green egg comes for those people that went in and bought your top 2 tiered systems.
And I was talking to the client one time. She's like, yeah, I just don't know if the gift with purchase actually brought any new leads to us. And I was like, well, you know what? Sometimes it's not also just designed to get you new. Sometimes it's to help you increase that average ticket to help them upgrade to the next tier. So, it did do a lot of that.
Okay. Yeah. So you run, sometimes we get in our head and we worry about the one outlier. Okay, here's what you're going to run into. You're going to sell a system on April the 8th. What is today?
April 10th. I think?
April the 10th.
Yeah.
You're going to sell a system today and you're going to start a promotion tomorrow. And someone's going to call you and say, well, I just bought a system and it would have qualified for the green egg. You have 2 options. I'm so sorry. Just like any other retail agency, our sales start and stop. I did not know when they started. Or you can say, you know what, Miss Williams, you are right. I will be there tomorrow with your green egg. You decide. Hack them off, be the winner. It doesn't matter, but just stick to your guns. Where you will make a problem is when you always give in. Well, 4 months ago, if y'all would have had this, yes, ma'am, I'm so sorry. This is a promotional offer that came down from the leadership.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to say. And Living Seed offers these things all the time. Like, hey, I'll be honest, if I want some more leads in there, I'm going to get more aggressive. If it's getting towards the end of the month, I might get more aggressive, just like y'all should, just like everyone should, to hit your goals and get things going. So my biggest encouragement here would be that you just need to have a plan. Is it a gift with purchase? Is it a financing cool thing you're offering? Give it a name so it's a buyback special. Many of you are already doing another thing. You're already taking their old equipment and doing something with it.
Cash for clunkers.
Yeah, cash for clunkers. It worked great for our client in Augusta. They ran it like 3 summers.
Mhm.
It worked great. So you could do all kinds of things. It's a buyback, it's a turn in, it's a recycle, reuse. I mean, whatever you want to call it. Or we're going to give you $100 for every year old that system is, up to 10 years old, right? Well, hey, my system 12 years old. That's $1,200, right? We cap it, but you have that $1,000 built in there anyway. So, really be smart about those things. So installs, I think, number one, installs are mostly sold. People don't wake up looking for an install to buy. They don't wake up looking for. So a lot of this comes from something happening
Mhm.
that allows them to go, oh my God, it's time. Most of the time, there's going to be a technician in their house. So how do you motivate your technicians to flip over those sales? How do you equip them? How do you teach them up front how to sell this TV gift with purchase?
Well, and another key piece and key reason of why you've got to include your team and make sure that they know what's going on so they can talk about it. They're the ones that's on the front lines, not you.
Let me tell you what they're
hopefully.
saying. Yeah, what they're going like this. Oh, you need a new system. Ooh, that's on you. Let me call somebody, because they don't want to deal with. It's hard to tell somebody I need $20,000.
No, it is.
When you're at a little grandma's house and they're like so sad, and both of us are like,
the dog has
know,
one eye,
and her husband just passed away and she just recovered from cancer, and you're like, this system's 37
Here's
years
your
old.
quote. Yes.
Yes. So they're not equipped to be like, you know what we can do? You can get a TV. So we have to equip our people to be successful there. So that's install. Any questions about installs on there? Are we good? Perfect.
Good. All right. Add-ons. Okay.
Okay. So I like to talk plumbing during add-ons.
Okay.
So here's a thing that I would consider add-ons for plumbers. So, and we can relate this to HVAC as well. So add-ons are accessories, all right? So accessories. So you've got like leak detectors. So again, going into the spring, everybody's sports are starting back up. People are traveling more and all those things. So what do they want? Auditory or notification when things are going wrong. So this is huge right now on the HVAC side on communicating thermostat.
Yes. Smart ACs, that type of
Nueve
thing.
or Nuevo, all that good stuff. So tons of those things. And I'll be honest, I think it's here to stay. I think we should embrace it. I think we should jump on it. I would love to be some of the first people in your market doing these really cool thermostats and things. Is it scary? Yes. Are you going to mess up? Yes. But you'll never know if you don't start.
So yeah, tons of plumbing accessories, water softeners, water purifiers, things like that. But also, especially if you're a multi-vertical company, add on your cross promotion. Like, hey, we're here to tune up your HVAC system, but like, we'll give you a free water heater inspection, or vice versa. Okay, because a lot of times they might have known you for HVAC, but like, I've never used them for plumbing. I have used someone else.
Y'all do plumbing?
Oh, okay. So like, own that relationship, offer some services in your other verticals to try to win them. You're their guy in that element, make them still be your guy for the whole home.
So I'm going to take a branding pause here. So branding pause.
Pause.
Let me tell you what, this is why when your name of your company is Crystal Services, people cannot go, what does Crystal Services do? What services, what? What, how, when, what is it? And so sometimes when people are like, I don't want my name to be Crystal Heating, Air, and Plumbing. I'm like, why?
It's great for SEO.
What that? And people know what you do. So yes, now listen, heating, plumbing, cooling, garage doors, pest control, landscaping, swimming pools, and pool equipment. And some of y'all can get buck wild, but
I think there's also very intentional to just build the name Crystals, build whatever that is, make that brand to where whatever vertical you add, it doesn't matter. You've built this brand right here. Coca-Cola doesn't list out all the flavors they have.
Correct.
Diet Coke, Coke Zero, whatever. It's Coca-Cola. They built that brand and then they have all their flavors underneath.
Subsidiaries. So, but I love this add-on. So cross promotion is a good thing. Now is a good time. We're already going to be there performing your spring tune-up. We'd love to take a look at your water heater. Compliments of us. Now, listen, a lot of you just need to play the game here, right? So can your HVAC technician really do a good plumbing inspection? Maybe not, but you know what they can do? A visual plumbing inspection. They can go around and touch a toilet, see if the wax seal ring is going. They can turn on faucets. They can drain.
They at least opens that door and that opportunity.
Did you know we offer plumbing? I'd love to get you connected to that. So visual inspections are great things. Also tagging everything. So You know,
Mhm.
get a set of custom tags made that when you go into the home, like, hey, you know, we're offering plumbing now. So what I'm going to do is I'd love to put these tags on where you're under your sinks and on your water heater. And that way, you know, if you have plumbing problems, you can call us. Tag the water shutoff valve. You know what? Listen, you want to see me and my husband run around like crazy is when we need to turn off water because I can't do it and I need a wrench and now I got to go in the yard and I don't know where it is and I'll turn off my neighbor's water and it's trying to be my water. But if it had a tagging system, I would be like, oh my God, thank God that McWilliams did that for me.
And then you know exactly who. You don't have to think about who should I call? Who would do this? Like there's a phone number right there.
Because men, I love y'all, but when I'm like the garbage disposal don't work, the first thing men like to do is open the cabinet and look at it. Like, yes, that it does not work right
Well,
now.
you know, I had to call someone for my garbage disposal. I don't even know if I told you about this. Turns out, pro tip, you can't throw pennies down the sink.
Oh, okay.
So thank you to my 4-year-old Anna who threw a penny down the sink that got lodged in the garbage disposal. So we thought it straight up went out. We had a plaster repair, and he's like, "It's just this penny. Like this penny done cost us $250."
So yeah, so my husband thinks you could put any food like we'll put potato peels, chicken bones. I'm like, we done cut up a whole ham carcass in there, and I'm like, this is. But again,
Put it to work.
but honestly, the shut-off valve stickers and the audible water alarms and the programmable thermostats, the water softeners, the water purification systems, surge protectors,
Absolutely.
electrification going on with your different filters and indoor air quality. All of those are like add-on things that we can do. I really am in this mode right now of creating indoor air quality packages because as a homeowner, we don't know. I'll tell you what I know right now is that I have to take allergy medicine. I've really never had to take it my entire life. But the pollen this year is just so like deep in my lungs. I don't know. I have yellow lung and not even in a good way. But if someone right now were to be offering an indoor air quality package that I could finance, I would at least be like, that's interesting for $39 a month.
Let me entertain this. Yes.
I could have my ducts cleaned. They would install a UV protector and an air purifier. And it's $29 a month for 3 years. Like, that's interesting. How much is it if I just buy it outright? Like, you know, a lot of people are in income tax time. So that's another time to be like, hey, you know, it's income tax special. We're going to double your income tax. So, I mean, there's all kinds of cool things that you can do with that. But
yep. And I see one question. Barb, you're asking for in the original Real Graphics. We are. It's the original office space. We've been here temporarily.
Tell us
until
that.
next week. We will be in this little OG Real Graphics.
Tell us that you live where we live without telling us that you live where we live. Yes. All right. Last little question today.
Oh, it was a twofer.
That's because I ran out of eggs.
Because we put two financings. We know money's your favorite.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Spending it. Tune-ups and social media. Okay, so let's we did installs. Let's go tune-ups first, and we'll end fun with social media.
Okay, so tune-up. So this is the time where, remember, I'm all about niching down audiences, right? So right now, easy audience, everybody in your system that's not on your maintenance club, send them a tune-up special. Those of you that can afford to be, I'd get aggressive. So is it $59, $69? You know, maybe some of y'all love President Trump. What number is he? $47. All kinds of things. But you do, like, we started our business in 1974. So it's our $74 tune-up. But it's only good through May 31st. So do something with a sense of urgency and some little stick behind it to catch.
Our 50-year anniversary, $50.
Everybody's doing a tune-up special.
Okay, and we know you're not getting rich off these $50 tune-ups. Okay, we know that. But we're trying to provide a low barrier of entry. How can we get in the door? And then your team has to know this too. It's like, hey, that's not the only thing we're looking to do here. What can we do to also sell them? Hey, I see you have a lot of pollen. Or I see you have pets. I have this IAQ package here. How can you upsell? There has to be intentionality beyond just this cheap little tune-up.
Well, and most people don't call when their system's perfectly healthy.
Correct. There is something.
It's making noises. It's old. It's costing them a lot of money on electric bills. So get in there and offer something unique, something different. And then you need to promote it. So email marketing to your existing database that has not had a tune-up is a good one. Go look at everybody that had plumbing offer from you, a plumbing service from you, but has not had HVAC and offer them a tune-up.
Do that cross promotion.
Those are free. Those are free if you're on ServiceTitan and can use your ServiceTitan Marketing Pro. If you're using MailChimp, upload it. upload it and send it out. Lots of cool things that you can do there for your tune-ups.
Texting with
But
chirp or hat.
Emily brought up a really good point. Tune-ups, so there's two things that I say. You can, whatever you call it, that's a part of your maintenance club. So let's say you call that a tune-up. 2 semi-annual tune-ups. If you're going to run a low-cost one, you might could call it something else, like, hey, or get a checkout or get a checkup, right?
Yeah.
Because if someone calls in and says, I got this email and I've been a part of your membership club, and why is this one $39 and I pay $119? You need to be prepared to say, well, sir, you get a tune-up. This client's getting a checkup. It's got 4 things less on it. We don't blow out the drain lines. We don't, adjust the capacitor, whatever all the other actuals are.
Sure.
We don't do those things for that. And as a member, you're also getting priority services for coming in somebody saying 15% off a new system. But your CSRs need to be equipped with that. But just change the name of what you offer.
Absolutely. And make sure your team knows the difference. Very much.
Well, and
talk
let me
a lot
see.
about what the team needs to know.
Well, yeah, and Lindsay just did this. This is no secret. We have an audit that we perform for all of our clients. So we go through and do this like extensive. It takes us like 15 hours of work amongst several team members to do this intense audit. Well, we wanted to give away a free like strategy like 30-minute session, but we didn't want to call it an audit because then we were going to say, well, to onboard with Lindsay, you need to do an audit. So we were like, how do we change the word? So we knew what we were going to do, which was you were going to tell us what you were currently doing on your advertising strategy, and we were going to give you an analysis of it. So we had to change the name, and we're doing different things. So we changed the name, and those are important pieces.
For sure. And we didn't want to undervalue the audit itself.
Yeah.
So that when we do sell it, we don't have to be like, well, you sold it for there at a different price. It just alleviates that.
But words matter.
Correct. And so have some
Especially.
differentiators in there. So
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Those tune-ups.
social media.
Mm,
Gonna put on the glasses for that.
yes.
So even just doing fun, silly things like this live, and sometimes you get in your own head. I feel like you need to have like teeth, like look at yourself there. But sometimes being a little bit silly, disrupting, doing something out of the norm. I think we can all get in our own heads of like, who's even going to watch this, or who cares?
I'm not getting on there. I don't like how I look. I'm not doing it.
Who
I don't
can
like
talk
my
for an
voice.
hour? I can't talk for an hour. I have to have Crystal by my side.
I can talk for an hour, but I sound like cornbread.
She can talk for an hour straight up by herself to the wall. But
I'm like, just turn the camera on. What you want me to say?
doing some creative things on social media, maybe it's a live, but there's also fun things with lots of giveaways with how is your team engaging? Also, like now is a fantastic time to start gathering extra pictures, extra videos, all that B-roll footage. When you don't have time to do it in the peak of peak of summer, okay, you still want to be able to have some content that's still posting in June, July, August. So go ahead, get that footage, get that content now. You have some extra time and capacity. Spring is a fantastic time to do that.
So that's the biggest struggle for social media is no pictures and no content. And let me tell you, what the sad thing is now, again, so Emily and I look at this every single day. If Emily and I probably could go open any business and have it off the ground in 90 days. Because we would get on social media and we would talk about it. So those of you that are like, I'm broke and I can't get any leads I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing on social media? I don't like social media. Well, do you like being broke or do you like social media? One of the two's got to weigh more than the other. So,
and social media has very little cost other than just your time and some intentionality
yes,
for the most part.
Yes, and time's expensive, but again, you have to weigh things out. So I'll say this, and I know Riley, I hope he's still on here. One of the things that I've really seen a huge change in LCS. So LCS had a great social media company beforehand. They're in Indianapolis. They had a great company. She was doing great things.
Good quality.
But she wasn't in the mix every day. Now that Riley's in the mix every day, they've got videos and content and all this stuff going on. They have to have seen growth. They have to have seen it following growth. And there's power in that. So if you're an owner and you're listening to this and you don't have a CSR, first of all, I encourage you, ask around. Is anybody willing to get paid $500 a month to just put some social media content out there for us?
Well,
and stipend them.
Sure. But there's also probably, like I said, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Without a pay of it at all. Start there.
Oh, yeah. Start without offering money.
That's where Crystal goes. Remember how I said she spends all the money real easily?
One time we went look for this girl to help us with our limited conference that we have every year. And I was like, okay, we'll give you $2,500 or whatever it was to help us do all this stuff. So we go to tell Trey, my brother, and we're talking to him. He goes, "Oh, is that her number?" And I'm like, "Well, no." He goes, "So she might would have done it for like $500." I'm like, "Maybe, sir. I do not know." Because I tend to start there. So Emily's right. Start. We're just asking around. But here's the thing about social media. The lemon seed way that we say is if you will choose some pillars of content and write those out on a whiteboard, on a Post-it note, just make yourself 3 or 4, maybe 5 pillars that you want to talk about every single month. One of them needs to be your services. One of them could be core values. One of them could be a review. One of them could be about a employee of the month or something. And one of them could be another tip or something. So every month, just work on getting those 5. And then what will happen is you'll naturally start getting other content because you're like, ooh, this is a cute picture. Like, oh, your technician sends you pictures of crap all the time.
Sure.
But here I am. Check out this old unit. Look at this fried snake.
Right.
Look at that. And so that is great social media
Well,
content.
like you could even have a pillar behind the scenes. That's
Yep.
all that stuff. You got to have a pillar of what's a national day of. So like once a month, I'm gonna pick one National Donut Day or Hot Dog Day.
Yes.
We
There's
got
a question.
Riley says, with intentionality, he gained 150 new followers on Facebook for the first month.
Yeah.
Great
I'm
job,
telling you,
Riley.
yes. Riley's killing it. And again, listen, I don't think that Riley's like, man, that was the easiest thing I've ever done. Okay. He probably really had to like, oh, let me focus on this. So a lot of you might dread the social media, but it's learning how to enjoy those portions of the business.
It humanizes your company. It humanizes your team. It lets you show, hey, we're real people who live here. We play here. We have personalities. And I think it also, like, when you do inevitably mess up, something is just going to go awry. I think it kind of softens the blow a little bit because they get to know you more as a person, as a company.
So another one that I want to bring up is like an internal contest. So you can tell your team, hey, I want to have a contest for the best install and the best, rejuvenation. So every install crew, go out there and take a picture of before and of a picture of the after. And then you're going to post them up in the room and people are going to vote on them by your team, right? So by doing that, look at all these before and after pictures that you just gained for social media. So, hey, before we went out and performed the tune-up, after we performed the tune-up, have you scheduled your tune-up, right? Shout out to, our technician, John. Check out this great job he did on this install. Those are things to be done. And then last thing I'll say about social media, though, is now is the time to invest in better graphics, probably, that are more spring-oriented. So what does your header look like? Is it Santa Claus? Okay.
And then don't have all your pictures where everyone's wearing a snow beanie and a puffed up jacket because you haven't taken any new pictures. Like, it just feels outdated already.
We don't have that problem in Texas.
Sometimes it's like, why is that tank top happening in December? But
Yeah. But, I mean, even like in Indianapolis where Riley is, like, one of the things that may be happening there is the last time Renee did a video, she had on a beanie. Well, he's like promoting that it's going to be 70 degrees. So you have to have all those things. Also, it doesn't have to be super like in the last month. So if I have a good picture of Emily from 3 months ago, I can use that picture.
Sure.
Just start developing your catalog, your files of content. Walk outside and take pictures of people just standing around vans.
Yes. And when you do make these slight modifications, maybe you add a little spring bunny to your cover photo or a little flower or something here. It just makes the company feel alive. Like they got some things happening. It's relevant. Things are changing and moving and shaking. It's not a dead, boring company. They haven't done anything in 6 years,
Most of what we hear when people are getting ready to onboard with Lemon Seed and they want to talk about social media, I will tell them social media is the truest form of partnership. We can be your creative piece. We will come up with videos and creativity and all the things that you need, post ideas, content ideas. It is you saying, you know what, I commit to getting Lemon Seed the 5 pictures that they need. But also, understanding that what you're doing is a little bit outside of your comfort zone. So I don't have any technicians that are going to do it. First of all, you don't know. And second of all, if you walk out there like social media needs another picture, but if you're like, hey guys, which one of you want to let me snap a quick picture? That gets a lot better of response. And listen, if you're the boss, be the boss. Stop letting the prisoners run the prison and be like, hey John, I need a picture of you standing by your van. They're not like, oh man, yeah, just move over, stand by your van, pull your shirt down, wipe that off. Okay, now put the cigarette out. Put your cigarette out. But what it does though is when you lead with authority in things even as simple as social media, people buy in. But you yourself, owners, you have to buy into the philosophy that what marketing is.
Mhm.
Emily and I can talk to her blue in the face. We just gave away tons of free information. You know why we can do that? Because the majority of people still will not do it.
It's true.
We put social media in our clients' laps and they're like, I can't make 5 minutes to take a picture. And you know what? It's true. I've lived the life of a contractor. I know that you're running backwards, especially at certain times with it. Things matter more, but I want you to make yourself a promise that you are going to care about your advertising because you care about your people
Mhm.
and you care about them having jobs. When you can prioritize it that way in your mind,
Mhm.
your marketing matters. It matters in the long run success of your
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
So yes, can we get away with, I'm sorry, I missed that one picture. Yes. But every month, never approving things or not making your vendor, your meetings with your digital provider. Those are things that really can be an issue in the long run.
They'll drive the needle. They'll push it forward. So, well, we've talked lots of things, and if you need help with any of these things, that is what Lemon Seed is designed to do. We are designed to create a true strategy to your marketing approach, to create organization to where we're not just throwing dollars at the wall. Every dollar has intentionality and a purpose of what we're trying to make it do, whether it's building your brand, driving leads, cultivating your existing customer database. It has intentionality behind it. And then if you're not a Lemon Seed customer, we have given a checklist of lots of these things, plus a few extra things that we didn't even have time to cover in here. So that link is being dropped down in the chat below. Click that link, give us your email, and it will give you the PDF of this download to where you can check off, make sure that you are taking action, springing into action this spring for sure.
Yes. And we have a couple things coming up. So April 29th, I'll be at JB Warranties. If any of y'all are JB Warranty people in Dallas. Emily and I are going to be at Service Nation. Is anybody going to be at Service Nation in Boston?
In Boston,
I would
next
love
week.
to see you guys next
And
week.
we have a very exciting announcement to make at
Yes.
Service Nation.
Some of y'all
Boston.
have seen it,
If
but
you've been on our own social medias, you probably have seen it, the Great American Brand Story, but it will be getting a whole platform or whole stage in Boston at Service Nation. And we are so thrilled and excited.
yes, we
for
love
it.
Service Nation and all that they do. Also, we have a webinar with Jonathan Bannister from
Mhm.
TopServe. I think it's May 14th. And then the webinar with Goodleap.
to talk
So
financing.
Lemon Seed loves sourcing vendors that bring new thoughts and things to the table. We have April the 22nd. Isn't it April 22nd? We're doing church.
We do have a church.
I think
webinar.
Chirp is
Yes,
coming up.
yes.
So Chirp will be coming up April 22nd.
So lots
Um,
more free resources for you to gain some marketing knowledge. How can you move the needle, make some impact on your own company? We're here to help and support.
Yep. If you are not a Lemon Seed client, Lupita and I would love to visit with you about what working with Lemon Seed looks like. It's basically an interview both to see if you'd be a good fit for Lemon Seed, see if we'd be a good fit for you. We can help you rebrand your company. We can help you build out an organizational strategy. We can help you with social media or just graphics. But please, you can go to our website, lemonseedmarketing.com, do the contact us. Or I'll be watching this for a little bit. Drop an email. I'd love to send you an introductory email, Lupita would, to reach out to you. But any questions in there, Andrea, at all? Any last minute questions? Listen,
We're here.
we're here for a few more minutes.
We got the yellow bunny. He's not hopping away.
You know
just
what's
yet.
weird is how this, but it's okay. I'm glad my nose is tiny.
If you had too large of a nose, you would not be able to wear those glasses.
No. I know some people.
I appreciate the little fur on the
Put lip
glasses.
gloss.
Are you saying my nose is big?
No,
So rude.
No. So, all right, guys. Thank y'all so much. We will see y'all next month.
Bye.